is happening, road dogs and highway hounds? This is the train wreck live with William Bentley Blackburn. I'm trying to do a hangout here. I'm not too good at it, but that's all right. You guys seem to hang around even when I'm crashing and doing all kinds of weird things. But brief introduction. I really talked to. What do you go by?
Just Will. Will is fine.
Will?
Yeah.
All right. But I stumbled across his channel last week, and it just like, I felt like, wow, this guy is, I like your style, man. But the thing is, it's just like, I get tired of listening to all the price is up, the price is down, and it's like, that's about what most people have to say or something. I just kind of get sick of it. But like you, I am more concerned about the philosophy of crypto and what it means. And you were talking about artificial intelligence and the Ethereum supercomputer. And
right.
Maybe we can talk about that. Maybe you can open up by giving some of your views or a little bit about you and kind of introduce you to some people.
Yeah, sure. That'd be great. So my name is Will Blackburn. That's usually what I go by. The thing is I started in computers about 11 years ago when I was a kid, and I've been building computers ever since then. And I've just kind of fallen in love with it. And I've always followed tech. Well, now I'm currently working at a company as a systems technician. And I build servers, desktops, laptops, all sorts of stuff. And I got into blockchain and Bitcoin in 2013 because I was interested in doing mining, cryptocurrency mining. I found it to be probably the most profitable way to do it. The only problem was I was only a high school kid working at a sandwich shop, and I didn't make much money, and that shit is expensive. It is really pricey. And so I was not able to buy all the parts and all the machines in order to do it. So I kind of left the space, I got out, and I moved on with life. Well, come about a year ago, I got back into it. And because I started noticing the price rise, I was like, something's going on here. I've been missing out on this massive boom in Bitcoin development and cryptocurrency development. And I'm beating myself up now, but hindsight's always 2020 in anything really. So now I'm in it, and now I'm not leaving it because I know the implications. I see the applications, and I see the fact that it can beat this corrupt system that we live in. I'm fairly libertarian in most of my views. I've been raised as a conservative most of my life, and I see the applications that Bitcoin has to beat banks, to beat governments, to beat corrupt institutions in Wall Street and also in Silicon Valley. And that's why I'm so interested in this field. But unfortunately, what I've noticed over the past few weeks and months is a move by the big banks and by the big corporations into the space. JP Morgan, Silicon Valley, Microsoft, they're all starting to take an interest in blockchain technology. And blockchain technology is really powerful, and distributed computing is really powerful. But then it's going to end badly, and it's going to end really badly for all of us. And I just don't want to see that happen personally. And that's why I've started making these videos. I've just really tried to push really hard on this issue. There was a project that was just released. They're doing an ICO sometime in June, I think June 12th or something. But it's called Beth.jp. And I stumbled upon this the other day. And let me just read you this. That asks on the website, so who is Beth? Beth is the name of our solution, which will be based on deep learning techniques, which is responsible for managing the Beth Fund. And any of you who are familiar with the stock market, it is totally rigged by artificial intelligence, by high frequency trading machines. Ever since the 70s, since computers were invented, stock market's been rigged. And now I'm starting to see the same thing move into the cryptocurrency space. except they're going to be using more advanced artificial intelligence systems to do that. And so this next sentence was just really crazy and just Orwellian, or not really Orwellian, but it's just wild. It says, "We will all be a part of Beth, as she will constantly learn from the information received." That to me, that is very wild. That is something that's over the top. It's crazy and it's totally intrusive. Silicon Valley has been making this big push for data and data mining over the past, I don't know, probably 5-10 years. And they've been gathering data to mine and teach artificial intelligence. And my worry is that the artificial intelligence they have now is so powerful that it could be used to enslave the mass majority of the population, which is kind of a wild theory. And I always throw out those wild theories, but it's just things to consider, because if you have a system that can track everybody in the world, there's no way to escape. And yeah, so that's the way I see things. And I just see I see it as a responsibility that we should take up. We should be talking about these issues more. And that's why I've, again, gotten into this so much and so heavily. So hopefully we can figure something out. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I really hope that we can.
We were talking about Ethereum and the supercomputer that you can't turn off, and combining that with AI, and I thought that was pretty interesting. You've got some interesting insights on your channel. I mean, I don't know much about it, like this BethJ.jp.
Oh, yeah, it's actually important to know that it is run off of the Ethereum blockchain. That is also, I should have mentioned that it is run off of Ethereum, and you're seeing a lot of that.
And the thing is, my view is that Ethereum, the things that are developed on Ethereum will eventually make it to Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Right.
Because of RSK Labs. RSK Labs is basically Turing complete and backwards compatible with Ethereum. So all of the Ethereum development can transfer over to RSK Labs, and it'll be applicable to Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Right.
You talk about this stuff, and I don't know much about artificial intelligence. Something similar that concerns me is quantum computing. When quantum computing is harnessed, the power of that is harnessed, I think it will destroy cryptography and Bitcoin, and all of cryptocurrency. I don't know how far off that is, but could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 50 years. They may never get it.
I think Andreas actually mentioned this, and he was asked about quantum computing and if it could crack the encryption for SHA-256. And he was making the point that, okay, well, if it breaks SHA-256, then you just upgrade it to 384, make it more complicated. So I think the fear is definitely justified in that. I think there is definitely that worry that potentially quantum computing could crack Bitcoin's encryptions. But we already have quantum computing. Google has a quantum computer, but Bitcoin's still here. China actually.
There's actually a quantum computer that I think IBM has online that you can do tests with. But it's kind of like, the way I look at it, when I was a kid, I had an old toy. They still didn't have it. They had like little mazes with mercury. And you could sit there and play with this thing and like try and wiggle around, but it's like hard to figure out which way it's going to go. And that's kind of what quantum computing is a little bit. I mean, not really. I mean, it's super complicated. I studied it. It's like, it kind of turns your mind to mush for a while, but
it can melt your brain. It can really be a subject. I mean, it's tough, man. I'll be honest with you. I've been studying it for a long time. And it's not that I'm worried about AI. I think there's a lot of good applications for artificial intelligence, especially when this is going to sound crazy, but when humans move off planet, when we start traveling space, we're going to need systems that are able to monitor systems on a spaceship. They're going to need to be able to monitor the oxygen levels. You need to be able to monitor any leaks, any damages done to the ship, anything like that. No amount of crew is going to be able to monitor all of that at the same time. You're going to have an artificial intelligence system, at least in my mind, um, based on the size of the ships that they're going to be building. But that's a little bit off topic. But I think there's good applications for AI, is what I'm saying. I just don't think that what they want to use AI for, the globalists, the social controllers, the manipulators, I don't think they have a very good plan for AI. I don't think they have a very good plan at all. And that's what bothers me the most.
Yeah.
Now, I
Well,
will say,
I look
go
at a
ahead.
lot of this stuff as like a hammer. It could be used to build a house or crack somebody over the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's a good. That is a really good. Yeah, that is really good. That's a.
it's a tool that could be used for good or bad. I hate computers, and kind of the reason why we're doing this hangout right now is I've had this idea of a tier 2 kind of talking, basically about things other than Bitcoin.
Mhm.
And I like what you've got. You're a thinker,
Right.
I don't necessarily know if everything you're saying I agree with or whatever, and I don't care. I'd rather not, because I like the friction of disagreement. And
Right. Makes the
and
debate interesting.
yeah, and it's like for you, you're a kind of a hardware guy, more of a hardware guy. I kind of view hardware and philosophy, and I kind of think of my background as more like finance.
Mhm.
Not really, I mean, I'm self-taught, on everything. I've got about 3 million miles in a truck, and I've been, before internet, I'd listen to the radio and I'd listen to cassettes on, you know, and now it's YouTube, and I've learned so much since these smartphones came out. A revolution to everybody's lives, I think.
Absolutely.
But with you, with your hardware knowledge, tweet, you guys out there listening, tweet this to Ivan on Tech. If you've ever heard his channel, I mean, I just found that last week too. I guess I'm exploring YouTube now, looking for something new, because I'm getting tired of all the price,
Yeah, I want to
speculation.
know. Yeah, I can look at
Yeah,
the price. Everybody can go to coinmarketcap.com and see what the price is, and you can look at the
right.
charts. Everyone can do that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Bitcoin and
fine.
Coffee does a good job, because he
Yeah,
gives it real quick, and then he goes into something else, kind of newsworthy.
yeah, that's
So
fine. And I like that layout. They give a market cap. They tell you, okay, this is what the price is, whatever. Like the Cryptoverse does that with Chris Coney. He does similar things. He goes into the news after he does kind of a market roundup. You know, and that's kind of an interesting layout. I like that. But there was a question I wanted to ask you though, because I was thinking about this. I would like to upload this video later, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I was thinking, what if free energy technology is introduced into society? How will that affect the cryptocurrency market? Because everything is in our economy is run on energy, and if we, in my mind, Bitcoin's price is based on a few things. Obviously, demand. That's key. Demand by the people that want to buy it and use it, but also energy costs. When the Bitcoin miners mine Bitcoin, they usually sell the Bitcoin and pay off their electric bills through Bitcoin. That's usually how they do it, and well, that circulates a lot of Bitcoin through the market because they're selling the Bitcoin out to the market. But if they have free energy, then they have no reason to sell. They'll just hold on to it. What do you think of that? Do you think that it would affect the price negatively or positively?
free energy, I
Yeah.
I don't think it would. I don't know. I'd have to think. I'm more of a kind of a. I got to stew on it for a while. You know what I'm saying? Rather than
Yeah.
off the
Well, that's
cuff.
something you might want to stew on because I think we're
My
getting close to the point where we're going to see free energy in our lifetime.
my knee jerk reaction is I don't think it'll affect the price much, because I think it's driven more by demand for what cryptocurrency is. I think I think the demand's gonna take it over, and I think solid philosophy is going to win. I don't know though, because people are not rational. You know, we're not rational human beings by nature. You know, we're, I don't know what we are, but
I know what you're saying.
it's not rational. You know, the first thing is not rational. It's like, ooh, the price is going up. I got to get in, and then it goes down. You know, it's like
That's how it always goes.
yeah.
Right.
So it's
Everybody
so,
inherently knows to buy low and sell high, but they always buy high and sell
yeah.
low.
Well, it's like
just,
it's kind of like I hate politicians except for my guy, right?
yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
You know,
They all suck though. At the end of the day, they always end up disappointing every single time.
They'll fight
We all
for the
know.
death for our guy.
Yeah. Yes, exactly right.
As he robs us blind.
The Fed's still there. We're still getting taxed. It doesn't change. That's the unfortunate thing. But I think that cryptocurrency is the solution to a lot of these issues. You know, I think we could create. Go ahead.
If it's managed right, you know, if we approach it right and carefully with the principles that started this whole thing off, and I'd like to get. I mean, I'm basically just trying to introduce you to people. Go to his channel, check the link down below, subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of thought-provoking stuff like this. If you like my channel, you'll like his. You know, probably ain't gonna agree with everything I say, and you ain't gonna agree with everything, but it's something to spark your imagination and get you thinking. And I'd like to, in the future, get somebody like Ivan on Tech. I haven't ever talked to him. I left a message on there, but you guys out there, tweet him. Do you have a Twitter? Do you want to say your Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter. I probably should start one, but I'm actually over on Gab right now, gab.ai. I'm trying to find alternatives to a lot of these social media sites just because the censorship has gotten so bad. Like Facebook deleted 30,000 accounts before the French election. Things like that is just I can't even go on Facebook anymore. You know,
I've never been on Facebook because that's how anti-establishment I am. But so hopefully, what I'd like to do is get another thinker who's like more software oriented. You're hardware, I'm kind of finance, and then get a software guy who's a thinker, which would be hard to do. But Ivan on Tech is kind of somebody that I'd like to approach. So if you'd like to see that, you know, tweet that toward him. Go check out William Bentley Blackburn's channel. And as Adam Meister says, pound that like button, share this. All right. We'll cut it short for now, and we'll look forward to doing this in the future. Hopefully,
yeah, man, absolutely.
Hopefully, this is actually being broadcast, because knowing my computer skills, you know, we could just be talking to each other.
It looks like it is. I mean, I'm watching. Apparently, 6 people are watching right now, and got a Jonathan Fain in the chat. So,
we'll go to the chat and kind of hang out with him for a while, but we'll just cut her loose for now, and we'll say adios, muchachos, right?
All right, man. Sounds good. See you guys. Take it easy.